السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel English with Ghassan. I have been teaching English for 33 years. So whether you are a beginner or an advanced learner, you've come to the right place. أرحب بكم مرة ثانية أعزائي الطلاب والمشاهدين. طبعا أعرفكم عن نفسي غسان عبيد، مدرس لغة إنجليزية، خبرة أكثر من 33 سنة في مجال تدريس اللغة الإنجليزية، سواء بالنسبة للآلتس، للتوفل، للإمسات، يعني جميع مجالات اللغة الإنجليزية وفروعها. طبعا إن شاء الله نحن بنعتني بالطلاب من الكي جي 1 حتى الجامعة، سواء حضوري، نحن موجودين بدولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة، وطبعا مرخصين من وزارة التربية والتعليم في دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة، أو عن طريق الأونلاين اللي خارج دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة. أيضا للتواصل على الواتساب، تليفون موجود، أو للتواصل حتى اتصال عادي من الإمارات أو خارج الإمارات، نحن موجودين على الأرقام هاي، فنحن بنرحب فيكم جميعا. Our lesson today, grade 9, general, trimester 3, unit 8, lesson 1. The title of the unit is Natural Disaster. Lesson 1, the title of lesson 1 is Dangerous Nature. Assalamu alaikum, Abdullah. How are you?
Alaikum salam, I am fine.
Please, the lesson, what is it about? Read what you can see, please.
Unit 8, Natural Disasters, Lesson 1.
Natural disasters. Natural disasters.
Lesson 1. Dangerous Mustar. Dangerous.
Okay, let's read together, please. Again, natural disasters.
Natural disasters.
Disasters. Lesson 1.
Lesson 1.
Dangerous nature.
Dangerous nature.
Okay. Here we have some pictures. What I want from you, Mr. Abdullah, is to tell me about the pictures. The question is, what do you see in these pictures? Yeah, let's see any picture and tell me about it. What do you see in these pictures?
I see a flood.
Good.
Hurricane.
Very good. Thank you. Here we find fire.
Wildfire.
Okay. Here we find a car. What color is this car?
Blue.
Blue. Okay. What's the meaning of the word natural? The title of the unit 8 is natural disaster. What's the meaning of the word natural? Natural. Natural means to describe something not made by human. Natural. شيء طبيعي. Done by nature. What part of speech is the word natural? It is an adjective. Go to the second word, disaster. Disaster. Something very bad causes a lot of damage. and kills a lot of people. What part of speech is the word disaster? It is a noun. If we want to get synonym, catastrophe. Catastrophe means disaster. So another meaning for the word disaster, catastrophe. Here we have some pictures. I wanted to look at these pictures and name these disasters if you can. Yes, Mr. Abdullah, tell me.
earthquake, flood, wildfire, hurricane.
Very good. Which one is the earthquake? This one on the right, this one?
Yes, earthquake.
And what about this picture?
Flood.
Flood. So when we have water, that means we have flood. Okay. Now, what we are going to do in this lesson, we are going to recognize and use a new vocabulary. We will have some new vocabulary. هنتعرف على بعض الكلمات الجديدة. To listen for specific information, we have listening. We have to listen, then answer the question. To recognize natural disasters from a description. Let's have some new vocabulary. Before you listen, look at the pictures and match them to a word in the box. Read these words, please. Here we have 4 words, vocabularies. Read them. Number 1.
Number 1, flood. Number
Flood.
2, hurricane. Number 3, earthquake. Number 4, wildfire.
Okay, Mr. Abdullah. Now, before you listen, look at the pictures and match them to a word in the box. So here in the box, we have 4 words. Can you read these words, please?
Flood. Hurricane. Earthquake. Wildfire.
Okay. So here these are 4 words. And here we have 4 pictures, A, B, C, and D. What I want from you is to match the words to the pictures. What about the word flood? To which letter? To which picture?
Flood B.
Flood B.
B.
Okay. What about hurricane?
D.
Hurricane to D. Okay. What about earthquake?
A.
Earthquake to A. What about wildfire?
C.
C. Let's check. Earthquake to A. Very good. Flood to B. Wildfire to C. Hurricane to D. Well done, Abdullah. Very good. Bravo. Okay. Now let's go to the meaning of these words. Now, name these disasters. Number 1. Read, please.
Is the state when the level of water is high and covers the land and enters cars and homes.
So here we have the state when the level of water is high. We have high, the level of water is high. What is it? Is it an earthquake, a hurricane, flood? What is it? From the 4 words we studied.
Flood.
It's a flood. Thank you. Number 2, read please.
It is well done fire or forest fire that is
Okay, let me read it for you. It is wildland fire or forest fire that is uncontrolled. يعني لا يمكن السيطرة عليها، لا يمكن التحكم بها. What is it?
wildfire.
Wildfire. So it's a fire. Let's go to number 3. Read, please.
It is a sudden movement of earth.
It is a sudden movement of earth. What is it?
Earthquake.
It's an earthquake. Very good. Number 4. Read, please.
It is a strong storm that has strong wind and rain. Hurricane.
Okay. Hurricane, you think. Okay, it's a strong storm that has a strong wind and rain. It's hurricane. Okay. Now, if we want to listen to these words. Here you can, as you see, I want you to know how to do it by the PowerPoint slides. You can listen to these words. Listen.
Is the state when the level of water is high and covers the land and enters cars and homes.
Let's listen again.
Is the state when the level of water is high and covers the land and enters cars and homes.
So this is number 1. Number 2, or this is the flood. Number 1. Number 2.
It is wildland fire or forest fire that is uncontrolled. It is wildland fire or forest fire that is uncontrolled.
Number 3.
It is a sudden movement of earth.
It is a sudden movement of earth. This is now I'm teaching you how to listen to some words if you don't know how to read them correctly, or if you have some difficult words. Listen.
It is a strong storm that has strong wind and rain.
Okay. Now let's continue. Here we have these words. Let's listen to them. Let's listen to these vocabulary. Then you will read them. Then we will get the meaning of these words. Listen.
Moist. Pressure. Release. Vibration. Fuel. Melt. Burst. Epicenter. Earthquake, hurricane, wildfire. Moist. Pressure. Release. Vibration. Fuel. Melt. Burst. Epicenter. Earthquake, hurricane, wildfire.
Okay. Now, as you see, this is the picture in your book. Read the vocabulary, please.
Moist. Pressure. Release. Vibration. Fuel. Melt. Burst.
Burst.
Burst. Epicenter.
Epicenter. Epicenter.
Epicenter. Earthquake. Hurricane. Wildfire.
Wildfire. Thank you. Here we have the meaning of these words. We have the meaning of these words. So if we have the word moist, slightly wet, as you see here, this is moist, wet, رطب, slightly wet. The window is slightly wet. So this is the meaning of moist. When you have some water. So this is called moist, slightly wet, as you see in the picture. Here we have the word pressure. Pressure from the verb press. Press, pressure. The force pressing on something. You can press up, down, or from side to side. So this is called pressure, الضغط, to press. Read please.
Release.
Release, to allow to come out, to go out. You see, for instance, this is a man, to release, to go out of jail. This is a bird. You release the bird, that means you let it go. So release means to allow to come out. Vibration, as you see, for the mobile, sometimes you put your mobile on silent, you put sometimes your mobile on vibration. Vibration means fast and continuous shaking movement, to shake. Read please the meaning of vibration.
Fast and continuous shaking movement.
Good, but we will read it again. برافو عبد الله، انه حتى لو اخطأت ببعض الكلمات برافو، مو مشكلة ابدا انه نخطئ، كل واحد بيخطأ، حتى انا ممكن اخطأ، اي انسان بالعالم بيخطأ. Okay, read after me please. Fast and continuous, fast and continuous,
Fast and continuous
shaking movement. إذا vibration اللي هو الاهتزاز. Okay. Fuel. As you see, this is a petrol, this is a fuel, this is the gas. Also, this is a fuel. So a substance that produces heat or power when it is burned. So this is the meaning of fuel. Read it please. A substance
that produces heat or power. Produces heat or power when it is burned.
When it is burned. Okay. This one is melt. Melt, as you see here, we have ice. When you take the ice out of the freezer, it will melt to change from a solid into liquid. If you got the ice cream, it will melt. That means to change from solid into a liquid, melt. Burst, to break suddenly, that contents come out. Burst means بمعنى ينفجر. So here when we have this picture, when a river overflows, its banks burst. يعني النهر عندما يتدفق بشكل كبير شو بيصير بالنسبة للضفاف تبعه؟ تنفجر، تصير المياه تتسرب. So to break suddenly, that contents come out. What is inside the content? What is inside will come out. Read this word please, it's easy.
The irid. The irid is.
Read the word first. Read the word, the vocabulary first. Epicenter. Epicenter. Read again. Epicenter.
Epicenter.
Okay. This is the area of epicenter here, as you see in the picture. You see here the area directly over the center of an earthquake. Now we are going to listening. Now we are going to listening. Okay, now you have to concentrate, please, in order to answer the questions. Of course, these are the questions in your book. As you see here in the book, we have to listen to 4 people describing different natural disasters. So here, 4 people are talking about different natural disasters. What I want from you to listen, then find the picture he's talking about. Listen.
1. These start over the warm ocean waters near the equator. Warm, moist air rises and then cools to form clouds. Cooler air moves in to replace the warm air, and it also becomes warm and rises. 2.
The Earth's outer layer is made up of moving plates. Sometimes these plates press against each other, and the pressure is so great that it has to be released. When this happens, vibrations travel up to the Earth's surface.
3. They can move at speeds of over 20 kilometers an hour, burning everything in their path: trees, homes, animals, and, of course, people. They happen when the following 3 things come together: fuel, oxygen, and heat. This is called the fire triangle. 4.
These occur when there is very heavy rain, causing rivers to flow over their banks. They can also be caused by ice melting very quickly, or when a dam bursts, allowing a lot of water to escape.
Okay, let's listen again. So the first one is, as you see, the first one is talking about hurricane, which is picture D. So the first one, the first man or the first person is talking about the hurricane. Okay, let's listen again to the first part. To listen again. جاهز عبد الله؟
جاهز.
صوت واضح عندك؟
واضح.
تمام، ركز الله يرضى عليك. يلا نسمع.
1.
1.
These start over the warm ocean waters near the equator. Warm, moist air rises and then cools to form clouds. Cooler air moves in to replace the warm air, and it also becomes warm and rises. 2.
The Earth's outer layer is made up of moving plates. Sometimes these plates press against each other, and the pressure is so great that it has to be released. When this happens, vibrations travel up to the Earth's surface.
Okay. Okay, now let's go to the next slide.
1.
Here we are going to listen again, but with the transcript. Look here, what do you mean by the transcript? This is the transcript, which is the audio recording in written form, word for word. So what you listen, you will find it here written as a copy. This is called the transcript. It's important sometimes to look at the transcript in order to have good listening. So let's listen.
One. These start over the warm ocean waters near the equator. Warm, moist air rises and then cools to form clouds. Cooler air moves in to replace the warm air, and it also becomes warm and rises. 1. These start over the warm ocean waters near the equator. Warm, moist air rises and then cools to form clouds. Cooler air moves in to replace the warm air, and it also becomes warm and rises.
So this is number 1 about the hurricane. Number 2 about the earthquake. Let's correct the word earthquake. Okay. Let's listen again and take a look at the transcript.
1. These start over the warm ocean waters near the equator. Warm, moist air rises and then cools to form clouds. Cooler air moves in to replace the warm air, and it also becomes warm and rises. 2.
The Earth's outer layer is made up of moving plates. Sometimes these plates press against each other, and the pressure is so great that it has to be released. When this happens, vibrations travel up to the Earth's surface.
3. They can move at speeds of over 20 kilometers an hour, burning everything in their path: trees, homes, animals, and, of course, people. They happen when the following 3 things come together: fuel, oxygen, and heat. This is called the fire triangle.
Now number 4, the
4.
last one about floods.
These occur when there is very heavy rain, causing rivers to flow over their banks. They can also be caused by ice melting very quickly, or when a dam bursts, allowing a lot of water to escape.
Now
1.
let's move to the second. Now listen again. Find the sentence below which completes each section in activity 2. So here, A, the heat source can be lightning, a campfire, a match, and even the sun. So here we have the word heat. We have the word campfire. So what is it?
1. These start over the warm ocean waters near the equator. Warm, moist air rises and...
Let's have the answer now. So the first one, it's the heat source. When we have the heat source, we have the word fire. So this is about wildfire. B, the energy is released in waves. So here we have the word waves. Here we have the word waves. So this is waves. Strongly. Epicenter, we have the word epicenter. We talk what is the meaning of epicenter. It is the center of what? If you remember. So it's about the earthquake. Now, if we go to the third one, here, this creates circular, from the word circle, دائرة, movement of clouds We have the clouds and wind, which moves faster. So here we have the word, the wind. We have the word storm. So what is it? Okay. Now let's go to the last one. Here we have bridges, houses, trees, cars can be picked up and carried away. So the cars, trees can be carried away. So what is it? Of course, it will be the flood. Okay. Now let's go to workbook activity 1. Let me delete these. Okay. Now, as you see here, we have to match the two halves of the sentences. So, number 1, hurricanes start over the warm what? Here we have A, B, C. So we have to match these numbers to these letters. So hurricanes start over the warm waters, warm waters. So here the answer is G. Cooler air moves in to replace what? Cooler, from the word cool. Air moves in to replace what? Of course, to replace the warm air. Here we have cooler air to replace the warm air. Number 3, the Earth's outer layer. So here we are talking about the air. What is it? It's going to be, is made of moving plates. اللي هي الطبقات. Pressure, we are talking about the pressure between two plates is released. يعني الضغط بين الطبقات. Pressure between two plates is released, causing vibrations to travel to the Earth's surface. Wildfires move very fast, burning everything in their path. Number 6, wildfire happen when fuel, oxygen, and heat come together. This is called the triangle. Number 7, floods happen when heavy rain causes rivers to flow over their banks. The last one, floods can also be caused by ice melting from quickly. So all the answers are coming from the listening. So here are the answers. Okay, now we have workbook activity. Now the last one, workbook activity 2, complete the text with the words in the box. Complete the text with the words in the box. Here, as you see, we have some words we have to fill in the spaces. Hurricanes, wildfire, vibrations, equator, earthquake, epicenters. Okay. What about number 1?
Hurricane.
So, number 1, you think number 1 is hurricane? Okay, number 1 is wildfire. Why? Because can move at speeds of over 20 kilometers an hour. They burn. Here we have the word burn. يحرق. طالما حريق, so this is wildfire. Okay, what about the second one? Let's get you back. What about the second one? In an
earthquake.
Earthquake. Let's check. So here are the answers. Now check your answers in your workbook, please.